Some of the most beautiful places on Earth can kill you, not because they look dark or frightening, but because they look peaceful. A lake that turns pink under the sun, a desert painted in yellow and green, a mountain summit floating above the clouds, a perfect blue circle in the ocean, a volcano glowing with fire in the dark. From far away, these places look like paradise, but up close, they reveal something much more dangerous. Extreme heat, toxic gases, deadly winds, acidic water, powerful currents, and landscapes so remote that one mistake can become a fight for survival. Today on CurioCity, we are exploring the most dangerous places on Earth that look beautiful. And the strange part is this: in many of these places, the beauty and the danger come from the exact same thing. Let's begin in northern Tanzania with a lake that looks almost unreal. Lake Natron can appear red, orange, or pink, depending on the light, the minerals, and the tiny organisms living in its salty water. From above, it looks like a giant painting across the African landscape. But Lake Natron is not an ordinary lake. Its water is extremely alkaline. In some areas, the pH can rise high enough to irritate skin and eyes. The lake is shaped by mineral-rich springs, intense evaporation, and salts that create a chemical environment many animals cannot survive. This is why Lake Natron became famous as the lake that can turn animals into stone. That phrase is dramatic, but it comes from a real effect. When birds or small animals die near the lake, the salty, mineral-rich water can help preserve their bodies, making them look frozen in place. And yet, this dangerous lake is also full of life. Millions of lesser flamingos depend on Lake Natron as a major breeding ground. For them, the harsh water helps keep many predators away. So, Lake Natron is both beautiful and dangerous for the same reason: its extreme chemistry. Our next place looks even more alien. In Ethiopia, the Danakil Depression is one of the harshest landscapes on the planet. It sits in the Afar region, where tectonic plates are slowly pulling apart. The ground is thin, the earth is active, and the heat can be brutal. At first glance, Danakil looks like another world. Bright yellow sulfur fields, green acidic pools, white salt flats, steam rising from cracks in the ground, dark lava fields stretching toward the horizon. But every color has a warning behind it. Some pools are hot, acidic, or toxic. Volcanic gases can drift through the air. Temperatures can climb to dangerous levels. And because the region is remote, help may not be close if something goes wrong. The Danakil Depression is beautiful because the planet is active there. It shows Earth tearing, heating, dissolving, and rebuilding itself. But that is also why it is dangerous. This is not a landscape made for comfort. It is geology in motion. Now let's travel to the United States, to a place with a name that sounds like a warning: Death Valley. At sunrise and sunset, Death Valley can look peaceful. Golden dunes stretch into the distance. Mountains glow red and purple. Salt flats shimmer under the sky. But Death Valley is one of the hottest places on Earth. At Furnace Creek, the official record reached 134 degrees Fahrenheit, or 56.7 degrees Celsius, in 1913. In recent years, temperatures near 130 degrees Fahrenheit have also been recorded there. That kind of heat changes everything. Water disappears faster than people expect. Sweat evaporates quickly. Metal surfaces can burn skin. The ground can become dangerously hot. And if someone gets lost, dehydrated, or stranded, the desert can become deadly. Even after sunset, the heat may not truly leave. During extreme summer periods, nights can remain dangerously warm. That is what makes Death Valley so deceptive. It does not always look violent. It does not roar. It does not chase you. It simply waits. And if you underestimate it, the silence becomes part of the danger. Our next location proves that danger is not always about heat. Sometimes it is about wind. Mount Washington in New Hampshire is not one of the tallest mountains in the world, but it is famous for some of the most extreme weather ever recorded. From far away, it looks like a classic mountain scene: forests, rocky trails, clouds, and wide views from the summit. But near the top, conditions can change fast. Mount Washington sits where powerful weather systems often collide. The summit can face freezing temperatures, thick fog, ice, and winds strong enough to make walking difficult. In 1934, the Mount Washington Observatory recorded a wind gust of 231 miles per hour. For decades, it was the fastest surface wind speed ever recorded by a weather station. Imagine trying to stand in air moving faster than many race cars. That is the hidden danger of Mount Washington. A hike can begin under calm skies and become dangerous near the summit. Visibility can vanish, temperatures can drop, wind can steal heat from the body. The mountain is beautiful, but it is not gentle. Now we move from freezing wind to fire beneath the earth. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Mount Nyiragongo is one of the most dramatic volcanoes on Earth. Its summit crater has hosted one of the world's most famous lava lakes, a glowing, moving surface of molten rock that looks almost hypnotic at night. From the crater rim, the view can be unforgettable. But Nyiragongo is dangerous because its lava is unusually fluid compared with many other volcanic lavas. When it escapes through fissures, it can move quickly down the slopes. In past eruptions, lava flows from Nyiragongo have reached populated areas, including parts of Goma, a city south of the volcano. That is what makes this place so frightening. The danger is not only eruption, it is speed, it is proximity. It is the fact that something beautiful from a distance can become a fast-moving disaster for people nearby. Nyiragongo reminds us that fire can be mesmerizing and terrifying at the same time. Our next destination looks calmer, but its danger comes from isolation. The skeleton coast of Namibia is where the desert meets the Atlantic Ocean. It is one of the most hauntingly beautiful coastlines on Earth. Cold fog rolls across empty beaches. Waves crash into sand and rock. Shipwrecks rust in the distance. Huge dunes stretch inland like a golden sea. The name sounds dramatic, but it is rooted in real danger. For centuries, fog, rough seas, strong currents, and shifting sandbars made this coast deadly for ships. And for anyone who survived a wreck, the land offered little comfort. Behind the beach was not a town or a forest. It was desert. Water was scarce. Distances were enormous. Rescue was never guaranteed. Today, the skeleton coast can be visited safely with proper planning, permits, and guides. But its beauty still carries the feeling of a warning. Some places threaten you with poison or lava. The skeleton coast threatens you with distance. Now let's dive into a place that looks like a perfect blue circle in the ocean. The Great Blue Hole in Belize is one of the most famous diving sites in the world. From above, it looks unreal. A giant dark blue circle surrounded by bright turquoise water and coral reef. But the Great Blue Hole is a deep marine sinkhole, and depth changes everything. As divers descend, the water becomes darker. Light fades. Pressure increases. Air supply matters more. Mistakes become less forgiving. For experienced divers, it can be an incredible adventure, but it is not a casual swim. It is not a place to ignore training, limits, or a dive plan. The danger is quiet. The surface looks calm. The circle looks perfect, but below that, beauty is a vertical world where the ocean's rules matter more than human confidence. Sometimes danger is not chaotic. Sometimes it is perfectly blue and perfectly silent. Our final destination may be one of the most visually stunning places on this list. Kawah Ijen in Indonesia is famous for its blue flames. At night, sulfur gases escape from cracks in the volcano and ignite, creating electric blue fire across the dark volcanic ground. The scene looks supernatural, like the planet has opened a secret door. During the day, the crater lake appears turquoise against gray and yellow volcanic rock. But this beauty comes from extreme chemistry. Kawah Ijen contains a highly acidic crater lake. The area also releases sulfur-rich gases, including sulfur dioxide, which can irritate the lungs and eyes and become dangerous at high concentrations. The same sulfur that creates the famous colors has also shaped one of the harshest working environments on Earth. For decades, sulfur miners have carried heavy loads out of the crater, often through smoke, steep terrain, and toxic air. To visitors, Kawah Ijen can look like a once-in-a-lifetime wonder. To the people who work there, it is a place of endurance, and that contrast matters. Because sometimes the most beautiful image hides a much harder reality. So what do all these places have in common? Lake Natron, the Danakil Depression, Death Valley, Mount Washington, Nyiragongo, the Skeleton Coast, the Great Blue Hole, Kawah Ijen. They are all beautiful, but none of them are harmless. They remind us that nature is not designed for human comfort. It can be colorful and toxic, peaceful and deadly, silent and powerful, inviting from far away, but unforgiving up close. We often imagine danger as something dark, ugly, or frightening. But on Earth, danger can also be breathtaking. Minerals make lakes glow, volcanoes create mountains, heat carves deserts, wind shapes summits, water forms perfect blue holes, fog turns coastlines into dreams. The same forces that create beauty can also create risk. These places are not evil. They are simply extreme. And when humans enter extreme places, respect is not optional. It is survival. So the next time you see a landscape that looks too beautiful to be real, remember this. The most breathtaking places on Earth are not always the safest. Sometimes, the most beautiful view is also the planet's quietest warning. Follow CurioCity and subscribe for more fascinating stories about the strange, beautiful, and dangerous world we live in.